Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. We have more news today as always, so let's get straight to it. The very first thing that I have for you guys is actually a company I have never promoted before. It's a company that until recently I had never heard of before, but they have some very cool kaiju figures. They are called Tolzar Toys, and they definitely make some of the coolest looking kaiju figures that I've seen. First of all, the kaiju are based on sort of like swamp creatures in Louisiana. The creator is from New Orleans, Louisiana, and that's kind of where he gets the inspiration from for his kaiju. His primary kaiju is called King Kaiju. Now you can see some images of the figure, and this one is available to pre-order right now. It is basically the king, obviously, worshipped by a shaman and his tribe, and I think the entire idea of having like a theme and like a storyline behind it is incredibly cool, not to mention the fact that this model is absolutely gorgeous, and in general the entire idea of having kind of like swamp creatures created into kaiju is just incredibly cool. Like, there's just so much potential there and so many different very interesting kaiju that they could create that I'm honestly hooked on the idea, and after even seeing this model, very much so hooked on the models themselves. And obviously this is going to be one of the coolest kaiju figures to come along in quite some time, and what's even cooler is the fact that it is its own original creation, not something based on a film or some other form of kaiju, which I think makes it even more special. If you are interested in grabbing yourself a pre-order of this, I will include a link in the description to where you can do that, as well as of course links to the social media accounts of Tolzar Toys where you can check out everything they are working on. Make sure you follow them, and of course pre-order this incredible figure today. And although this is Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, we're going to go with a little bit more kaiju news for you guys, because Titanic Creations as well has revealed some very interesting stuff. First of all, it appears as though we are going to be getting a 30-centimeter Yongary, similar to the Gorgo that Titanic Creations had released, where they had a very cool large vinyl model. They are hoping to do the same again with Yongary, and we can see kind of like a sneak peek of what it's going to look like, and I personally am very excited about this. I loved the Gorgo. I've always have been a very big fan of like large sort of vinyl models. It's just something that I've always been really fond of. So that Gorgo was honestly incredible to me, and the idea of having a Yongary made in the same sort of style is definitely extremely exciting. On top of that, and I don't know for sure if you can still vote, but you can, or at least you were able to vote for the new color scheme of the Gorgo reissue. They are going to be re-releasing their articulated Gorgo, and they were basically asking what color scheme you would like to see it in. They had 3 different choices, one of which was this really cool sort of like a teal bluish tone version, which I think honestly is incredible looking, like probably the coolest color scheme of them all. But there was also a black and white version, which I'm also quite partial to, so I like that idea. But then there was also this very cool red version, which I can't lie is pretty darn awesome in its own right. So you can head on over to either the Facebook page or the Instagram account to cast your vote today as to which color scheme they should go with. I believe the blue is winning pretty strong right now, but you can always again get your vote in and see if you can make a difference and get the version you want to eventually get the release. I also wanted to let you guys know that as far as Syrett Tech goes, he's got himself some brand new battle damage pieces coming. As you can see, there is a brand new replacement piece for the Lost World Jurassic Park Kenner Carnotaurus. Many people, myself included, have that Carnotaurus, but unfortunately no longer have the piece that goes to it. So as always, Syrett Tech is kind of jumping in to give us a helping hand and create this incredible dino damage replacement piece. So if you are interested in picking this up, I will include a link in the description to the Etsy shop of Syrett Tech where you can do that right now. Also, Arttoys is back at it again, and I recently had shown off some incredibly cool dinosaur figures that they were going to be creating, but also in that video I stated that they were going to continue to create Chaos Effect type dinosaurs, and it appears as though that is obviously the case, because they recently had shown off quite a few new versions of their Ultimasaurus, which looks kind of more traditional as far as the Ultimasaurus goes, but also still very realistic and lifelike, which is one of the many things I love about Arttoys, is the fact that they take those sort sort of toys from the Kenner Jurassic Park toy line, but recreate them in a lifelike way. And I have reviewed one of their Ultimasaurus in the past, but we now actually have 3 different versions, actually 4 if you technically count the baby, but you can see all of the different versions here as far as the different Ultimasaurus options you have. They are, I believe, all limited editions, so if it's something you want to get your hands on, I would definitely recommend contacting Arttoys as soon as possible to get your order in. The prices for the hatchling would be $20. You also, for the adult 1/35th scale version, it would be $90, but if you actually want to purchase the adult and baby together, it would only be $100, so you do save yourself a little bit of money if you go that route. But honestly, again, they all look absolutely awesome. Definitely another fantastic release from Arttoys. I love the differences in poses. You could buy all of the different versions of the Ultimasaurus and have yourself one impressive pack of Ultimasaurus hunting in your Jurassic Park. But definitely a really, really cool release yet again from Arttoys. So make sure you check the links that I will include in the description for them as well, where you can contact them and purchase one of these unbelievable releases. Also, as far as T-Rex Productions goes, they are officially releasing another stop-motion dinosaur. They have created a Velociraptor, obviously Jurassic Park inspired, and this one is another very cool version of the stop-motion puppets they've been releasing over the last few years. Something to keep in mind, though, if you are inquiring about one of these, they're going to be pretty pricey because they're very costly to make. So, again, when it comes to a stop-motion puppet, like, that's pretty incredible. I've been wanting one desperately. I just haven't been able to afford one quite yet, maybe at some point soon. But they are a collector's dream, if you ask me. To have an actual stop-motion puppet is incredible. So if you are interested in getting a hold of this one, or maybe any of the others they have available, I don't remember how many they still have available, but they have released a few. You can, of course, check the link that I will include in the description for T-Rex Productions as well, where you can contact them and inquire further about grabbing one of these. And continuing the trend of kind of telling you where you can pre-order things, you can actually pre-order a brand new Castermind Creations release. Yes, Classic Park is back with the Montana Max action figure. This is very clearly a super cool, very nostalgic Kenner-like, but in a more realistic and more faithful to actual Alan Grant figure. And we can see not only do we have the incredible Montana Max, aka Alan Grant himself, we also have a beautiful baby Velociraptor that will be coming with the figure as well. You can see the price tag is $65 US, and there will only be 25 available. So that is something to definitely keep in mind. It is important that you get your pre-order in immediately if you do want to get your hands on one of these, because again, being that limited and that beautiful, they aren't going to last very long. But what is also cool is the Velociraptor is back. When it comes to the actual Castermind Creations Jurassic Park articulated Velociraptor, he is going to recreate another run of 20 more. So if you were somebody that was looking to get this in your hands and maybe missed out on it the first time around, you now have one more chance to get this, and I highly recommend that you do. This Raptor is incredible. I do have a review up on the channel for it already, so if you have not seen that review, check out my Castermind Creations playlist and check the review out there. It is a must-have if you are a Jurassic Park fan, and again, available at least for a limited period of time before the 20 available will sell out. So again, check the links in the description, contact Castermind Creations, and get that pre-order in right away. On top of all of that, a thank you goes out to Paleo Figures, but we have yet another tease for the upcoming Haolonggood Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't ever remember any Haolonggood release getting so many teases leading up to it, but we can now see there are actually 4 different paint variants coming for this, and it's really hard to judge how cool they all are from up above, but they look phenomenal in my opinion. It's just some look better than others. I would say obviously the 2 best are the middle 2, but again, the one on the left really seems to have some strong potential. It's just hard to see what it really looks like until we get a nice shot from the side. The one on the right looks like more of your kind of bland standard T-Rex colored version, but also may look super cool once we finally see it from the side. But hopefully these will be revealed sometime soon, because the anticipation is pretty much killing me. And then finally we get to Jurassic World. We have some more, kind of stock images of the upcoming Jurassic World Rebirth Imaginext figures. First of all, we have the Spinosaurus, and we can see how ridiculous and goofy looking this thing is. I don't really know how to take this one. I think that might be one of the ugliest when it comes to Imaginext Imaginext figures that I've ever seen. But we do also have the new Mosasaurus, which I think does actually look pretty fun. I do have their older Mosasaurus, and this one, although a little bit thicker, I would say, does look pretty cool. And then on top of that, we also have, I think this would be the T-Rex. Pretty interesting looking T-Rex, and again, not really the greatest looking figure in the world, but it's Imaginext. It's pretty much what I've come to expect from them. On top of that, a thank you has to go out to David Solano for these images, but it appears as though we have some sneak peeks of some more mighty little biter figures, as we've got another raptor that looks kind of fun, I guess, but really severely lacking in paint application. And then we also have a Pteranodon, pretty much the same case, again, severely lacking in paint application. I don't know if these are maybe like early prototypes or something like that, or if these really are going to be what they look like, but I really hope Mattel starts to implement more color on these figures, because these two are really quite bland overall. And the final thing I have, of course, a thank you has to go out to Dino Mac, but we have a look at another upcoming Mattel figure, as we have a really nice looking reddish Baryonyx. And this figure, I believe Dino Mac had recently spotted online somewhere on a store in Hong Kong, and it looks super cool, honestly. And I think it, in general, looks better because it kind of looks like the large Epic Attack version of the Baryonyx that we had released as far as the sculpt goes. But the tail, to me, looks like it's a bit longer, which was like the biggest downside to that figure. And the color scheme of this one is also pretty fun. I really wish it had painted nails, but it does look to be a pretty cool Baryonyx. And maybe once it's released, you know, one of the best, I would say, Baryonyx overall to come from Mattel once this one does finally, you know, head out into the hands of collectors. But no word quite yet on when this one's going to be releasing, but once it does, I will definitely be picking this one up. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way, but until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.